Okay, hit record. Keeping you on track. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, more this week more than ever. Just a lot of stuff going on. I watched some videos that you'd post. I didn't mean to reply and fall asleep. Just been busy,
Yeah.
but it's been good to have the group because just more commitment to stay accountable and do stuff. So I've had a good week.
Good and busy. How about everybody else? Anybody else?
I'll speak. I had a great week. I just love this. The only terrifying thing about this particular program, Paradigm Shifters, is that I know it's going to end in a couple of weeks. That's actually, it's like one of those really good books and it's getting thin. I don't want it to end for a while, and I'm feeling anxious about that. But otherwise, everything is on point. And one of the best things that happened was actually, Ryan, your post about laws of attraction and reading The Secret. It really impacted me because that affected my life enormously. And I haven't been on there, reading the book for a while. People asked me to lend it to them, and I guess I could. I found it again. I was looking for it, but I don't want to because it was so impactful for me, but I guess I should share. Anyway, as a result, when I was writing down my goals, there were a number of things that I wanted, and just little things, and it was like they happened over a short period of the bigger ones, not so much, but I feel that they're coming, and so, or like they're already here. And anyway, it's been a really great weekend. Yeah, very happy.
So that's interesting. So you'd listened or read it before?
I did.
Yeah, me too. It had been years ago though. Like I think when it first came out, and then I'd been doing all this PD and known about it. I was like, I got to get back on that. But I just went on a marathon with it though. Like I bought the audio tape on my phone. I bought the video on iTunes, and I bought the book. I haven't read it though, but I did. I kind of binged it like a Netflix series. But it's been good. Yeah.
I think it's on Netflix.
You got?
Yeah.
Is it? I know on YouTube they want you to pay for it.
On YouTube? I've seen it on Netflix, but it's been a while since I looked. Hold on. It looks like Ryan, do you want to explain what The Secret is for Erica?
So it's a book composed by this lady, Rhonda Burns, and it's about the law of attraction and how our thoughts turn into reality. And it has a bunch of speakers on there. Bob Proctor is one of the main ones, but it's really good. If you haven't heard of it, you need to check it out for sure.
I literally probably have seen that movie. It's easily over 20 times. That was really what turned me on to personal development in my life, was that movie, and that set the stage. So pretty powerful. Thanks for sharing, Sharon. Who else? Anybody else want to share anything?
The Secret, man, that book is crazy. You can never read it enough times, right? I've read The Secret, The Magic, and The Power, but I haven't read Hero yet. But I've shipped The Secret to Africa, and it's circulating over there, and it's doing some pretty amazing things.
That's awesome. Anybody else?
You said The Magic and The Power. Is there other? I didn't realize there were more to it.
Yeah, there's The Secret, The Magic, The Power, and The Hero. The Hero's the newest one.
Well, good. I got some new stuff.
You read all 4 of those in a row? Wow. That's all I'm saying. Wow.
I haven't read any of those also. I've only read The Secret. They're worth getting then, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're all by the same author, right?
Barnes.
Richard.
Yes, same
Yeah,
author.
I mean, I know we have them, but I haven't. But yeah, they're pretty great.
Cool. So we heard from, I haven't even had a chance to, did anybody like the video by Brigida today? Did you guys get a chance to, some of you probably have seen that before. If you've been a coach for more than a year, you've probably seen that one. But did it resonate with anybody?
I mean, I think I'd seen it before, but I must not have been paying attention, or my mind was somewhere else, because when I watched it this time, it really like kind of struck me. Just hearing the hardship she was in, like that sounded pretty rough, and then just how fast she was able to make this work, like right off the bat, that was pretty amazing. Or like a lot of determination there, and I just was trying to think of like the little trial and tribulations I've gone through at this pace, like what at her pace, like what that must have been like. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy what she's accomplished, what she's gone through, and what she has accomplished. She's from Idaho, too. She just recently hit the Millionaires Club. She's been just a little over 4 years, I think, with the company. She's just, if you follow her on YouTube or Facebook and stuff like that, she's got a lot of wisdom, and she's open, she's honest, she shares a lot of her trials, and she really lets you know who she is and stuff like that. So
I was excited too, because I think she's going to be in Fort Hall here in like 2 weeks.
Oh, will she?
Yeah, I believe she's one of the speakers.
Cool. Dana, are you going too?
Yeah. I got a VIP ticket.
She's got
Yeah,
VIP.
that's right. You're going to dinner with Sagi?
I am. I'm excited. This should be a lot of fun. So.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, in Idaho there's Sagi is coming. Scotty Hobbs is sponsoring an event with Sagi, and I guess Brigida is going to be there, and Sagi's going to do the training and workout and everything. So we're all gonna. I'm only 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away. So Chelsea and I are going to be up there to go to that as well. So it's going to be fun. So one thing that in my personal development that I've been reading and kind of focusing on that I really wanted to share with you guys is, and I wanted to actually spend more time on this last week's call, but it got to the end of the hour and stuff, and so it's just time to go. But I started to hint about it, started to talk about it with like bringing into our subconscious thinking, or to our thinking, what we think about, we bring about. That's the classic law of attraction right there. And how I use the example of how original Chelsea and I thought we were being with our first daughter, her name Avery, because we just never heard it before and everything. And then once we named her Avery, we hear it everywhere. She's got another Avery in her class and stuff. So it was really there all along, right? The name Avery was there. It never registered with us. When we heard somebody's name Avery in the grocery store, I mean, it was just background noise. It meant nothing to us, so it didn't register. But because we brought it into our conscious thinking and stuff, we notice it everywhere, and how it is everywhere. And it's the same. It's the Volkswagen Jetta theory. Kind of talked about this, right? And if you're to decide on a Volkswagen Jetta. Hey, I'm going to do some research. I need a new car. Oh, cool. I'm going to buy the Volkswagen Jetta 2015 black with chrome, whatever. All of a sudden, it's like everybody and their dog owns a Volkswagen Jetta, with chrome and black. You just see it everywhere. I did that with my truck. I bought a new Tundra limited edition, 4 doors. I thought I was like, hey, this is awesome. Holy cow. I can't believe how many freaking 4-door Toyota black Tundra with the same rims to boot, that I've got. And it's just so classic, with anything, that the answers, you guys, the answers to everything we seek, it's around us. All the answers, all our goals, all of our dreams, all of our desires are around us. Now, they're here. They could be sitting right next to you, but you're not noticing them. When I say you, it's majority of people, right? Because we're not necessarily focusing in on what it is that we're supposed to be focusing in on. It's the same concept as you go. Everyone's been to Walmart at least once or twice, right? They've got 100,000, 200,000 products, confined in the 4 walls of that building. There's so many products, right? Well, how many times have you walked by all these products? For example, like in E Squared, she uses this example, Lice shampoo. She walked by it 1 million times. It's never registered. It's there every time she's gone into the store. It was there, but she was never looking for it. But she didn't notice it until she had to go look specifically for lice shampoo because her daughter got lice from school. So she went down Walmart, went down to the specific aisles, narrowed it down to the right shelf, and then got the exact specific thing because she was specifically looking and searching for that. But before that, it was always there, but she would always walk by it. And same with all the other 100,000, 200,000, I don't know how many products they've got in each store, but when we need something and we bring it into our conscious mind, we focus on it, we do bring about. And there's so many different ways of being able to do that, right? Because you say, well, geez, I want $1 million. I'm going to go look for $1 million. I'm not going to turn over a rock and go find it, right? Now. So how do we do that? How do we bring that into, like our conscious mind? And some of the stuff that we've been doing this last week are exact ways to bring it into our conscious mind, our goals, our desires, our how we want for this business to work, right? This business working for us, whatever your goal is, say it's retiring our spouse or 6 figures or whatever, the answer to that is around you. You just haven't found the system yet that works for you. But to not get off topic, the affirmations, meditation, writing down goals. Those right there are things that we've recently just talked about this week on how we can bring about those or manifest those things that are all around us that we just haven't found it yet. And it definitely is all about consistency, repetitiveness of affirmations, or always writing your goals down, like Jim Carrey having his goal of 10 million in his wallet, constantly in there. And even subconsciously, man, every time he opened his wallet, he didn't pay attention to it being there, but he touched it when he was grabbing other bills or whatever. It was there. He would bring it to his surroundings and stuff. And those little teeny things make the biggest difference. And those affirmations and writing those goals down. So I'll tell you, if you're spinning your wheels or you're feeling like you're not going in the right direction or you're not reaching your goals or whatever, I mean, how are you really doing those things to manifest those goals into your life? Are you really, how many times are you looking in the mirror and maybe you feel cheesy or whatnot, but how many times are you looking in the mirror and you're doing your affirmations, of who you are? How many times are you meditating and meditating, not again, like this with your, in a yoga position or anything like that, but just sitting there thinking and seeing yourself and feeling those emotions of, I have achieved it. Walking across stage, for example, this is an example, walking across stage with a 5-star medal on at Summit, hearing my name, saying 5-star diamond, Ryan Hall, walking across the stage and you hear it and you see it. How are you going to feel in that moment? Are you going to get chills down your spine? Are you going to say to yourself, I did it. I did it. Are you going to look across, out there in the sea of people at the Jaguar Stadium in Tennessee and just see lights and just like, I can't believe I'm up here. I mean, how often are you painting that picture, right? That's your goal. That's what you want to do. If you're not doing that stuff and just meditating in the moment of how you're going to feel upon reaching those goals, or what it's going to, feel like to have a 5-star diamond team, of having 5 diamonds underneath you, and the camaraderie and what you're going to do for those 5 stars when they hit certain rank advancements. Oh man, I'm going to get them for sure. You know what? For me, I'm going to get them a Tiffany gift. Could be a little teeny bracelet or something that's maybe not lavish or whatnot, but that's what I'm going to do for my diamonds. I'm going to just do that for them. And put yourself in that situation. Do you do that? Don't answer, rhetorical question, but are you doing that? Putting yourself in as a 5-star diamond, or a millionaire, or $100,000 a year, whatever you want to call it. Do you truly see yourself as that? Or is it just a goal, or is it truly you? Is it you? You have to put yourself in that moment. And with the law of attraction, we're talking about that, right? I mean, the whole thing about that is the emotion you put behind thinking, thinking about what it is that you want. And that's why fears and stuff like that, we think we have so much more emotion behind fear. That's why we tend to bring about our fears more than our goals, because we have so much more emotions tied to fears. Any thoughts though on that? I kind of thought that was a common theme with what we've been covering the last week and a half and stuff.
Oh, I mean, I agree. That's what I've come to realize more this week is, and it takes practice. You can't just do it 100% of the time, all the time. But as you start doing it and practicing it, you notice it more and it gets better and better. And that's what this week has been, is and then hearing the stories, the Scotty Hobbs, and then the video you had today, her and most of them, they have serious big whys. Their why is they stuck to it, and I just been really to myself thinking about how I need to focus those thoughts, that attraction, on those things, my BAT, positive thoughts about how I'm doing that, and just the steps, the vitals, making sure that those are successful for me.
Cool. Anybody else? Any other thoughts? Erica, you're quiet.
I totally agree with you. Today I definitely had a really kind of a went backwards a little bit, because just a lot of negativity at work and that. And it's wait a second, this is not where I want to go. I need to step back. And I went on and I listened to the video today, and I'm okay, let's get back into this mindset, because it's you really have to guard where you're going, and just put your blinders on, like they said last night. and just stay focused in that, and just thinking about where I'm going and why I don't want to be in the negative anymore. And it's kind of annoying anymore. It's like, why are you so negative? And it's sad. I wish it would stop. But yeah, definitely, I do agree. You have to keep just focusing on where you're going and what you want and your huge why. So at least that's helped for me, at least, is just knowing where I'm going.
So, Erica, you don't have to answer this, and don't feel like you have to or anything like that. But talking about this negativity and everything that you're mentioning, what was it specifically? Are you willing to share the negativity that you were specifically? I'm curious.
It's just, I work at a daycare, so just the people there are just like, we're all women, and we just gossip and just I don't know, it's just a lot. It's been just getting to me, just seeing just the different things. Oh, I know one of them was, I work with 2-year-olds, so of course 2-year-olds are going to put food on the floor when they eat, right? Common. And she's like getting mad about it, and it's like, no, it's okay. Like, yeah, I just cleaned the floor last night, but they're 2. You can't get mad at them for that. And peeing their pants or peeing on their pants. You can't get mad at them for that. They're 2. They're still learning. They've only been alive for 2 years. So it's just like, okay, how do I do this? And then someone's like, you can either bring that to you and you can start like bringing in that negativity, or you can stay positive and then they can start being positive and taking on the positivity that you're showing. So it's like, okay, mindset, and then let's refocus, and tomorrow's a new day, and we'll just go on, positive and bring positive back into it. Because with kids, you have to be positive. That's huge.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Cool. Thank you.
Can I add to that?
Go for it, Laura.
I work with kids too. I work with children with autism. And it can be really, every day is hard. There's not an easy day. And you can work with a lot of negative people as well. People that are just like, this, and I always have to be like, you know what, you just gotta laugh. Every day you just gotta laugh and know that, just like what she said, they're only 2 years old, or, they have autism. What do you expect? Not that let them go crazy, but you got to give. It's a different patience that you give them compared to you and I, or something like that. And I'm listening to Girl Boss, and one of my passwords is something like, I hate my job. And she said that all her passwords she changed to her goals or what she wanted to see in her life. And she said, because all of them you're hearing subconsciously. And I was like, duh, every day I'm putting in that password. And I'm like, oh my God, why am I doing that? Just so stupid. So I changed my password. But anyways, I just wanted to add to the fact that, being negative doesn't work. You got to always just laugh and keep it positive and keep moving. And then all the other people around you will be like, oh yeah, it's not that big of a deal. So
that's awesome what you shared about passwords. I believe in Girl Boss. She shares about the passwords. I haven't read the book, but I thought somebody was sharing it with me. That she changed all of her passwords to positive affirmations, things of that nature and stuff. But wasn't there some other ideas, Laura, that she has given about how to help infuse positivity into your life besides, something like your passwords? But there are other ideas, I thought.
She does, and I'm a little brain. I just did chisel balance when I was listening to the first part. I got to think about it for a little bit during the meeting. But I listen to it in the morning when I'm walking the dog, and I just came that she said that today, so it's really stuck with me. But I know there's more. I'll have to write it down. But it's a good book. It's a, you know, take it with a grain of salt. You know, we're not all going into clothing business, but it's a good book. It's a good book.
Cool.
So, I wanted to ask you real quick. What was that book last weekend or last week you talked about bringing setting? Oh gosh, what was it?
Squared.
Huh?
E squared.
Yes, that
Pam
was it.
Grout.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. That's like the Walmart theory thing, and with the lice and like the Volkswagen Jetta kind of theory, all that kind of stuff. That's what she talks about.
Is that, sorry to bug you again, is that the one you were saying where you're like, you didn't deserve to be, you know, make this amount of money in your job, and, you know, is that the same book? Okay. All right. Thank you. I got to get that.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that, though. But I think that's awesome. I mean, I'm glad you changed your password, by the way. But here's the funny thing is that, you know, Laura, year and a half as a coach? Is that year and a half, almost 2 years now?
No, I signed up to be a coach last November.
Oh, okay. So almost going to be going on a year and a half soon.
Yeah, I didn't really start till like December. Yeah.
Okay. So you're not at fault here. All of us here do certain things that infuse negativity into our lives, and it's a subconscious thing, right? We're bringing it into our lives, and we don't even realize it because we've got things like passwords, say for Laura, but say for me, something that I have had to just really fight for and focus on is like I get used to really get mad. I'm very proud of myself how far I've come. I've got a million things to work on, but one thing that I've had to really focus on was everyone but me were not good drivers on the road, right? So any silly little move, and I think I've mentioned this and stuff, so much negativity, so much hate, you know, all those feelings when somebody would do something silly in front of me, things that I've probably done a million times but don't even realize that I've done it to other people. But, you know, someone does it to me, it's really wrong, and I get upset and stuff. And it used to affect me really bad, you know, really just, and all that would do, that emotion was powerful. Right? That emotion was really powerful. Or if it's, say, a coworker that you look at and you cringe when they walk by because you can't stand them, or your boss or whatever. But that emotion for me at road rage was really just so incredibly powerful. I can't imagine all the crap that it brought into my life without even, you know, thinking about it until I started focusing. Now, some tricks like changing my password, right, to very positive things, is somebody will cut me off and I'll be like, well, that is a child of God there too, right? That person's a child of God just like me. Or I know for a fact I cut somebody off this time. I remember specifically how embarrassed I was. I did it. It was a total accident. I've done that. So, and I let it go and just blow it off. And man, it's just dramatically made such a positive impact. Ryan, go ahead.
I was just waving at Trish's daughter.
I thought you kept saying, me, I got something to say.
No, her daughter was waving, so I was waving.
But yeah, we all have things like Laura was talking about, you know, a password or something that we're doing that we don't even realize that we're doing. So I challenge you guys, you know, right now, think, what is it? What are you doing that's doing the opposite of what you want, right? What are you bringing into your subconscious mind? What are you bringing into your reality that's negative? You know, that's the opposite, because everything that's negative is around us too. If we focus on it, we're going to bring that to us just as much as if if it's positive or our goals and stuff like that. The funny thing about us humans is that, and I think I've brought this up before, is that our default as humans is set to negativity, right? It's set. For some reason, our fears, we focus more on our fears than our positive attributes or things like that. We compare ourselves to, are the worst of ourselves to the best of others, right? Our default, we really have to fight to be really positive. We can be negative, not hateful or spiteful, but just kind of negative really easily without even thinking twice about it. But to really stay positive and energetic all the time, it takes, for a lot of us, it takes more energy sometimes, it feels like, to really stay on top of our game and stuff. And so we do have, all of us have, and will always have, something that is a negative password in our life. And does anybody have one? Like I shared road rage. Laura literally specifically shared her password was "I hate my job." Anybody else? I like a good uncomfortable silence. I'll go on mute.
Wasn't this from like the first Shifters? Now that you mentioned your road rage, it kind of, I think I remember hearing that before, but I think I'm going to change my password.
What is your password?
They're all the same as some initials and some numbers. So and they're all of them are a close variation of it. They're not bad, but they're not doing anything for me though. So I might as well make them all like I'm a kick-ass coach this year or something.
One of mine also was I hate money, just because money never comes to me. And it was like, oh, and then I listened to You're a Badass, and I was like, because if you like money, you're bad, right? And so I literally had to be like, money's okay. Money's going to come to me. I'm not selfish if I let, money is only, if you're greedy, then that's for greedy people, but I'm not being greedy. Anyway, so I had to change that one too. I hate money. That's another bad one.
Oh, man.
I know, right?
I'm not judging, girl. I'm not judging at all.
I am putting it out there.
I've got lots of stuff I'm always going to be working on. But no, that I'm grateful that you're sharing that, because it makes us all really think, what are we doing? Because we are doing things.
It's constant. I was thinking of like Simon Sinek, what he was said about at Summit. He was talking about the same thing, like road rage, and how some people will just cut you off. And he said, well, maybe they're late to an interview. It's their first time and they're really nervous and they cut you off. Or maybe they're just a real asshole, It just depends. So you got to take it and just, be like, all right, take it easy, calm down. So I thought that was a good point. You never know what other people, where they're going in their life. And they could be having that very first interview and they're just late or something. So I thought that was a good point. And one more thing, since I'll talk. I always do this now with the grocery store in the parking lot, because you pull in the parking lot like, oh my God, I'm never going to park in a parking spot. And now I just pull in, I'm like, I'm going to find the best parking spot. I swear to God, it works. I swear. That's another really good one. But yeah, negativity is, we always think of it, no matter what.
Yeah, the parking spot thing does work. It works with anything, you guys. So kind of a little homework assignment, right? You don't have to do it, but think of maybe one thing that you're bringing negativity into your life. One thought, one password, one trigger. Is there a trigger that pisses you off? Somebody does something to you, it just ticks you off, or somebody specific, or if a spouse doesn't do the dishes and you see the dirty dishes, your emotions, you're like, why didn't they do the dishes? They said they're going to do that, or whatever, something, really think about that. And how can you change that? How can you turn that to make it serve you instead of, work against you? And then also something to think about also when it comes to what Laura was just talking about, bringing about something that you don't normally bring about into your life. Something, I want you to consciously think about something. It could be, I think in the Secret, they use a cup of coffee as an example, right? I'm gonna bring about a cup of coffee in my life. Something it can be as simple. I don't care what it is. I want you to really think about it. I am going to manifest a compliment from somebody today, right? And just, I want you to think about it. What you think about, you bring about. So you have to think about it. If you're not thinking about it, it's not going to be like the name Avery. You're not going to be hearing it because you're not thinking about it. It's not on your mind. So it's got to be on your mind. And I promise you, you're going to see a compliment somewhere along the line. It could be a billboard where it says, "You are special." And you're like, you're looking for a compliment about you, and you just read a sign that says "You are special." I mean, that's a manifestation of, but so many people discredit, these positive things that we bring into our lives. They discredit it because it's like, well, that's like a cup of coffee. I could go, like, to me, I'm going to be on an airplane tomorrow. I can get a free cup of coffee. That's easy, one to will or whatnot, but still do it. It doesn't matter. Don't discredit anything, because the universe, it totally works if you focus on it. So I challenge you to find one thing to change that's triggering negativity into your life. Doesn't have to be a huge thing. Could be simple. And then I also want you to will something. I want you to bring about something into your life, like tomorrow. So could be, it can be something like, think of a car. You can buy any car you want tomorrow. Any car that's a realistic car for where you live, not like a Batmobile, right? Like, just seriously think about a car that if you had, whatever, $100,000 you can buy on a car that is going to be a car that you drive on a day-to-day basis. What kind of a car would that be, and then really envision it, put it into your mind, and then see how many times you see that car tomorrow, driving out and about, or whatever it might be. I hope I made sense with all of that. It sounds like, or it looks like Erica said The Secret is on Netflix.
It's funny, Carson, you talk about things that that we find negatives in. And one of the worst things I find are my kids. Like, I find myself turning negative towards them at times when I probably shouldn't. I had a conversation with my wife not so long ago about the kids in the back seat laughing too loud. Like, why would we complain about our kids being happy? But they were just so loud that it annoyed us as adults. And that's definitely one that I have to constantly work on and stay positive with. So.
That's awesome. That's so funny. Hey, Richard's out of the doghouse. It's so funny that you say that, because it was the night before I was leaving on this trip here to Phoenix, and my 5-year-old was just like going nonstop, wanting to get like these huge arts and craft things out, and it was almost bedtime, and she wanted to create, right? She wanted to create something, and I'm like, "What are you doing? No, it's bedtime. What? Are you kidding me? Why are you pulling out all of this stuff? I'm just going to have to clean it up." And, I just, gosh, it killed me when I just stopped and thought about what I was saying to her. Like, I could have reacted so differently, but I let my emotions get the best of me. And and I was cranky or tired, not wanting to go on the trip or whatever it was and stuff. And I was looking at the negative side when I could have looked, oh, she's so creative. She even right before bed, she wants to create beauty and art and stuff like that. Sweetheart, let's do that tomorrow. Hold that thought. And we'll get it out tomorrow and we can do it. I could have handled it so differently. So, Peter, I feel you, man. With a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, that is a constant challenge, I think, for most parents at least. But yeah, I feel
we'll look forward to lots of that moving forward because my kids are a little bit older and bedtime seems to be the only time they feel they should be creative. So
all right, I am going to call on a little friend who's been quiet, Suzanne.
Hello, Carson. Hello.
Hi, come on. What are you thinking, girl? I need to know. I can feel your thoughts almost from here. What's going on?
You know, it's funny. You guys were just talking about kids, and like, I just had a really rough day with mine today. I have 3 of them, and 8, 6, and 4, and it was just like a rough start to the morning. So I feel like it just I let it throw my whole day off. Like, so I'm just kind of like recouping, I think. So.
Had a long day?
Yeah, it was a long day. And like I said, it didn't start off the way I wanted it to. So, you know, like you said, you could have reacted so much differently. Like with your daughter, I could have reacted so much differently with my son this morning. He didn't want to get ready for school. And, you know, it was just a rough day, you know, one of those days. So.
Sorry.
Like, I just feel like, you know, it's so true. Like, you have the choice. Like, you just have a choice to make, like, how you're going to react to things.
Absolutely.
it goes along with the old saying, if we hurt the ones we love the most, so they're the ones we're comfortable with. I think that's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean?
No, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's just hard, you know, like you want to, like you try to, I don't know, just you try to focus on like so many different things at once, and then, you know, when you look at the big scheme of things, like your kids are your number one priority, and you're trying to just kind of get everything done. It was just a crazy day. That's all.
We understand. We all have them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know.
We don't
Yeah.
judge
But
it.
like I said, I even told my son, I said, we're gonna have a better morning
We're going to have to what?
A better morning tomorrow, I think.
Better morning.
tomorrow. Oh yeah. Yeah. I told him, I said, we'll have a better morning tomorrow, right? You know. So we had a little heart to heart.
So,
Okay, go ahead.
no,
I think it also, because I do have those mornings with my son as well, I really think it also like really brings us in, and it's like makes us really think like, okay, wait, we do need to step back and really think about what we are saying to them as well, because we are creating their thoughts as well.
Mhm.
And I have the exact same problem as well. You know, I do the same thing. I get on him about, you know, come on, let's go. I'm running late for work. But like I said, like you just have to, like, the thing is we are thinking about, we take a step back and say, wait a second, I could have done that better.
Mhm.
And we're really thinking about how we're talking to them so they can, like, yes, I did make a mistake, but I do still love you, and let's try again, you know, teaching them too, like, yes, I do have these, I don't know, I keep on rambling. Let's think the best. I have teaching them to, as well as just because they have a problem and they have a rough time, that they can come back to being positive as well. So I guess you can use it as like a teaching aspect too for them. Like, say, I don't know. I'm kind of rumbling on. I don't know where I'm going with that. Never
No,
mind.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. My thing is, I don't ever want them to like go to bed upset with me or go to school, you know, after we just got, you know, if we had a bad morning. I always want to make sure we leave on good terms.
Right.
And just like I told, like, you know, like I said, you know, we had a rough morning, but tomorrow's a better day. And, will be made up. He's 6, by the way. It's not like he's
Right.
it was just one of those mornings.
So surprise him tomorrow and wake him with a smile. Like, go in
Yeah.
over the top exuberant, and he'll wake up happy and make your morning that much better too.
He'd probably prefer pancakes or something, but no.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's one way to prove to him that you're going to start that day differently, like
Right.
you told him.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, though. So before we wrap up, I shared a little bit about this last night when I was playing some catch up. And I've shared about it before, but I've seen it so much in this business, you guys, that so many of us coaches, we compare ourselves to top coaches, right? To these Brigitte Linfords, Lindsay Matway, Scotty Hobbs, Melanie Mitro, Amy Silverman, all of these top coaches who are making ridiculous amounts of money, and they've been doing this for 3 days, right? Where they're just incredibly successful. And we tend to discount what we have accomplished and what we have done because we're comparing it to, them, right? Like, we don't compare our 2-year-old's accomplishments to the President of the United States accomplishments. I mean, it's just silly to do that. We just don't compare that, but we compare ourselves to others. We don't, for some reason, especially in this business. And a lot of people in this business that do share their income on Facebook out loud and things like that, typically those people are very proud to share that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, by no means. I love to see it myself because it motivates me, but typically it's those people who are making $20,000 a month, $80,000 a month, $150,000 a month that are sharing their income, right? Because it's pretty impressive. So we're like, man, I'm only making, $300 a month or whatever the case may be. And how insignificant do you feel when you're making $300 a month to $20,000 a month, right? If we're comparing that to that. But let's just step back. Before you were a Beachbody coach and you weren't making $300 a month, if someone was to say, hey, how much would $300 a month change your life? Would it be would it change it at all? Would it do anything for you? Or would it make a positive impact on you? You'd be like, yeah, sure, I can make my car payment. I mean, that'd be awesome to have my car payment covered every single month or whatever the case may be. But try to, I want you to know that the normal, and I've kind of covered this before in other groups and stuff, but the normal, right? There is no normal. I don't believe in normal, but the normal, it takes 5 to 7 years in a multi-level marketing business to really hit, say, a 6-figure income. It typically will take 5 to 7 years to do that. Now, this isn't 5 to 7 years of 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's not what it is, but it takes a good 5 to 7 years of consistency, say 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, whatever it is, of consistency to get to that point. It's really the few who hit, say, like 6 figures or top earners who are hitting it within their first 2 years, 3 years. That's not common, actually, but it's very common for them to share their income, right? So we tend to compare ourselves to them, and I don't want you guys doing that. I want you guys to be vigilant about comparing yourself to those coaches, because if you really saw every single coach's income, for the coach that's been a coach for 1 year, coach that's been a coach for 2 years, a coach that's been a coach for 3 years, and seeing their income, you're going to be like, whoa, I'm not that far off, actually. wow, I didn't realize I thought I was the only one making only this much a month, or not making that ton of money or whatnot. But really think about it. I mean, you want to get to, say, it's $1,000 a week. I mean, if you really think about it, to get to, say, $50,000, almost $50,000 a year, stay at home kind of a job or part-time job that you're doing something that you really enjoy doing. I mean, how much would $50,000 change your life? I don't know. It could change it dramatically. It could change it hardly at all. I mean, is it more than what you're making now? Would you be able to give up your full-time job and be stay at home, say, mom or father or whatever, and be able to take care of the whole entire family based off that, but only working 3 hours a day and being able to do and go anywhere you want for your kids, and not have to ask permission from a boss? That'd be like $1,000 a week. How hard do you feel you would have to work to get to that point, right? Can you get to $1,000 a week in the next 12 months, in the next 24 months, a $50,000 part-time, stay-at-home, be your own boss job? You know, I'm breaking down that as an example, right? You can break it down however you want to. What's going to be that magic number to where it's like, I'm going to feel really successful doing that? I don't have to be a millionaire to be successful, but within the next year, I want to maybe break it down to $250 a week, where it's $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year. But my point is, break your goal down and compare yourself to yourself and how, what you're doing to accomplish those goals. Never compare yourself to anyone else in this business. And I just see it way too often, and it frustrates the heck out of us, ourselves, when we compare ourselves to others. It's frustrating because what we're doing is we're comparing our worst to everybody else's best. It's just human nature. It's what we're doing. So I wanted to just kind of leave that with you guys. But also, I wanted to open it up if there's anything you guys would like to share or talk about.
Ryan, what did you decide on the puppy? I'm dying to know.
I haven't yet. I'm on the fence towards no.
That's okay. You have to have the time to commit to it. So that's, if you don't have that time, then it's not fair to the puppy.
Yeah, well, and it's not so much like a dog or whatever. It's like that whole open to receiving stuff. And it's like, am I going to be, I want to stay open to receiving. I want to receive gracefully.